Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
This is why, of course, she's on The View and not working for the most powerful man in the world, because Karoline would wipe the floor with you bitter banshees any day.
Joe Biden knows how to do this. Yes, he knows how to do this. He's quite good at this. And you know, you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean...
He rambles.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
But can I mention one thing?
The recent verbal clash between White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt and Whoopi Goldberg has left viewers stunned. Due to time limits, the full details of the encounter and their jaw-dropping reactions were not shared. Subscribers can expect more unforgettable moments like this one, so be sure to stay tuned for more updates.
I, too, am a working mom and always have been. I've been a professional woman since I graduated from college or law school. But now there's, I think, a good thing, which is like the restoration of valuing so-called traditional, moms, and that's great. The women who take care of their kids full time, most of my best friends are doing exactly that. But it seems like in the right, there's like a bit of a shift toward like, you can't do what Karoline's doing. That's actually like an unsafe or a dangerous or a bad choice for families, for children, which I reject wholesale, but you hear it more and more.
Yeah.
Do you hear that, and what do you think of it?
The woke mob attempted to shame a mother of a 7-month-old on national TV, attempting to challenge her professionalism and facts. They went full 1950s and asked why a working mom was even working. The same crowd that screams women can do it all suddenly hit a pause and decided this particular working mom had crossed the line. They believed that embarrassing a daytime talk show host meant that she should go home, bake cookies, and reflect on her life choices. The woke brigade was not only a group of minions, but also a group of people who were not afraid to challenge their own arguments or character.
I would reject that it's a bad choice. Is it a tough choice? Absolutely. You know, as a mother, you want to be with your child 24/7. You have that maternal instinct.
27.
Yeah, not all the time. Well, right now, yes, because he's 7 months and just squishy and lovable, but I'm sure that will change. No, but you know, you do have that maternal instinct, but also recognizing like, I'm doing this work for my son and for all children to make this country better, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Karoline is making strong points, and it's unclear why people are hating a hardworking mother. Let's see what she has to say next.
I mean, I gotta ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of...
Karoline Leavitt, a feminist, effectively addresses the outrage surrounding the idea of balancing motherhood and a career without sacrificing one. She embraces traditional values and acknowledges that not every woman is suitable for this lifestyle. Leavitt offers a mature perspective, pointing out that women who choose full-time motherhood deserve respect and not condescension. She believes that nurturing the next generation is just as valuable as climbing the corporate ladder. She lays bare the left's hypocrisy for performative empowerment, highlighting the importance of nurturing the next generation. In the end, she lays bare the left's hypocrisy for what it truly is, performative empowerment. However, she also surprises readers with a new conspiracy theorist.
A lot of women are preparing themselves for the impact of the incoming administration, which has led to this growing mantra from male right-wing incels. Your body, my choice. Say that to my face.
The left has shifted from champions of facts and logic to low-budget conspiracy theorists, with Elon Musk allegedly plotting to take down President Trump by pushing him down the stairs. This intellectual crusade is led by The View's finest, daytime talk show harpies who have convinced themselves they are running a congressional committee from their coffee table. Karoline Leavitt, who had the audacity to destroy their queen bee and now wants their pound of flesh, has responded with a few choice words that debunk the lunacy, leaving the conspiracy crowd scrambling to cook up their next half-baked theory. The left's satire is like watching satire write itself, but Karoline Leavitt is not about to let this nonsense slide.
You must have really wrestled with how you were going to meet the high bar set by Karine Jean-Pierre. Was that... Sorry, was that out loud? No, she was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how has your approach differed, would you say?
I think it's vastly different. And if you ask people, even in the legacy media, even the Trump haters, they will tell you the approach has been much different. Not just for me, but
They
the
admit that
entire
to you.
White House. Oh, absolutely. They come in my office every day and they'll admit that off the record.
Oh.
Maybe not on the record, but they will say they appreciate the access and the transparency and the preparation that goes into my briefings and everybody on our team.
Whoopi Goldberg, a former White House press secretary, took a bold move on national television by spitting on Donald Trump's name. This was a direct challenge to Karoline Leavitt, who was known for her verbal obliteration. Goldberg's spitting was seen as a classy rebuttal, and Leavitt responded with precision and force. Leavitt scoffed at Goldberg's hypocrisy, stating that they were preaching civility and respect, but turning ABC into a slapstick comedy show. The internet took notice of Goldberg's bold move, with memes flooding in faster than producers could hit the commercial break. Many viewers threw their support behind the White House press secretary, with some posting that they would have to hide at some point and wouldn't feel comfortable walking down the street if they were any of them. Others pointed out that Goldberg spat in the face of all Americans who voted for Trump, which is half the American people. Some even thought Goldberg's antics were a ploy to grab more views, with one person believing they paid her extra to act foolish.
An IG report from the Social Security Administration, there was $71 billion worth of fraud in one single fiscal year that we know about. And so that is a lot of fraud, Peter.
To be clear, that $71 billion was from 2015 to 2022, so it wasn't in just 1 year, and it was
$71 billion.
But it wasn't in 1 year, just over multiple years, from 2015 to 2022.
So are you defending $71 billion in fraud, Peter? That's a lot of money. Why is the media so against cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the government? I don't get it.
I just want to ask a question.
We won't be deterred. We will not be deterred from people like you and the...
Karoline Leavitt, after a verbal smackdown with Whoopi Goldberg, was quickly attacked by another journalist who focused on the fraud she had just exposed. The journalist attacked Leavitt like a hall monitor, ignoring the scandal and attacking the whistleblower. Leavitt responded calmly, turning internet clips into viral gold. She admitted that exposing corruption was less important than satisfying fact-checking fetish, and the journalists seemed flustered. They continued to press nitpicking words while ignoring the elephant tap dancing in the room. By the time Leavitt was done, the debate was a full-blown demolition, with the journalist leaving looking less like a truth seeker and more like an unpaid PR rep for the fraud she had just exposed. This left Leavitt wondering how she prepares to face the press, as she seems to have her finger on the pulse of almost every issue.
How do you prepare? Because you can't know everything, and you could get asked anything. And unlike Karine Jean-Pierre, you're not out there reading and furiously flipping through your tabs to try to find an answer somebody else has written for you.
Yeah.
So how are you preparing?
So I did prepare a binder for the first briefing. My great assistant, Keegan, put it together. And then I showed up to work and it was like this thick. And I was like, I can't even move this. I can't use this. It was too cumbersome for my brain and the way I learn and think and study to have that. It felt like added weight. And I said, I want to just go in there and speak from my mind and from my heart.
Like your boss.
Like my boss.
Karoline Leavitt's lightning-fast responses and clapbacks are not a result of scripts or a woke-approved filter, but rather from the heart. She speaks from the heart, avoiding the theatrics, hypocrisy, and obfuscation of her woke counterparts. Litz. Raw, unfiltered reality is harder to ignore than their recycled talking points. She backs her arguments with facts and confidence, leaving her critics blinking. In contrast, the woke brigade is busy crafting the perfect insult thread on X and Twitter, dismantling arguments before they even hit post. Litz's authenticity is refreshing, and a threat to those whose platform is built on smoke mirrors and selective outrage. Hearing Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg reduce intelligent and talented women to their looks is not only disingenuous, but disheartening. Lit's authenticity is not just refreshing, but also a threat to those whose platform is built on smoke, mirrors, and selective outrage.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
The women on The View are increasingly offended by Karoline Leavitt, despite her sharp intellect, poise, and rapid rise to fame. They have achieved more in a few years than they have managed after decades of yelling into the abyss. When jealousy takes over, reason tends to go out the window, leading them to resort to absurd tactics like assassination or blatant hypocrisy. They fall back on the classic move from the woke playbook character assassination, claiming that she only succeeded because of Trump. The more successful she becomes, the louder the tantrums grow. Michael Knowles makes this more obvious than anyone else. Karoline Leavitt's success is not just about her appearance, but also her experience as the national spokesman for the campaign. She did a very good job in that role, and the campaign was hugely successful and communicated effectively. Even if she weren't a pretty lady, even if she were a male gremlin monstrous fellow, she would still have gotten the job based on how effective the campaign communications were. Karoline Leavitt ran for Congress and was considered a potential White House press secretary job. Roger Stone believed that she earned the job and that she had been in the fire. She has real experience, as seen in her congressional run, where she crushed her opponents with no breaks. Her campaign was not just a bullet point on her resume, but a crash course in real-world politics. When Karoline Leavitt steps up to the podium and delivers quick, sharp comebacks, it's not just youthful confidence, but the honed skill of someone who's been in the trenches taking blows and coming out tougher. This is why the left can't stand her, as she's smart, resilient, and actually effective.
Now to the cackling witch herself, Joy Behar from The View, whose jealousy is something to behold. Here is her assessment of Trump's new White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
The ever-empowering feminist, Joy herself, everyone. And this is why, of course, she's on The View and not working for the most powerful man in the world, because Karoline would wipe the floor with you bitter banshees any day.
The View ladies are not only annoyed by Karoline Leavitt, but also jealous of her work and relevance. They complain from a comfortable studio couch while Leavitt shapes narratives from inside the White House. They know they cannot compete with her. Intellect, composure, and political savvy. Every time they try to go toe-to-toe with her, it ends in a similar way. Leavitt schooling them with facts and a killer smile, while her crew throws tantrums and throws receipts. The jealousy is tangible, as they know they wouldn't last 5 minutes in her shoes if they had to swap places with her.
CNN guy, Jim Acosta? Oh wait, he's not on CNN anymore. That's right. He was like, it was just so, I would say, you don't mind the aggressive questions, you take the aggressive questions, but it was just always to the point that it was like, how do you destroy Donald Trump? How do you destroy the individuals of staff? It was so, when they do say Trump derangement syndrome, and I do think that there's also Elon Musk derangement syndrome happening too with the media, because they don't know how to handle it. How do you view that differently from the first administration till now?
Well, first of all, since you brought up Jim Acosta, he's been saying some not so nice things about me online, and I've resisted responding, but since you brought him up, I'd like to say,
let's go.
Jim, at least I have a job, Jim, okay? Just saying.
Karoline Leavitt, known for her comebacks, has been criticized for her lack of experience in a real debate. Goldberg, who is known for her loudness, would not dare face off with Leavitt in a real showdown, as it would be a knockout in front of millions. Goldberg, on the other hand, is known for her chess skills, and is often thrown back at her with a side of bless your heart deep down. While Leavitt can put on a show from the comfort of The View's echo chamber, a real debate would be a knockout. The episode concludes with a sharp take on the latest political buzz hit, urging viewers to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking content.